volunteered to speak in the beginning of the class instead of leaving it to the end after everyone else had gone. Something that works for me too.
Yeah.
Over the years, she actually began to enjoy public speaking, and she now does it as part of her everyday work as in a health counseling business. She joined Toastmasters here, Ad Libs, yay for us, last fall to improve her skills. She's currently our Vice President of Public Relations, and she's working on her 5th speech today, her body language speech. It's titled 3-Step Model. Andrea?
Thank you, Shelley. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, Gavin DeBecker, who's a scrupulous violent crime expert and also the author of a best-selling book titled The Gift of Fear, once said, "We must learn and then teach our children that niceness is not the same as goodness." Niceness is actually a decision. It's a strategy. And actually, it's a character trait. So people seeking to control others often appear nice in the beginning. So how do we teach our children how to be nice, but also, in the same token, stick up for themselves? So this is a complicated question with a complex answer, but today I'm going to address one way that you can learn a skill that you can teach to your children that will help with your own personal safety. And that is an assertiveness skill. And yes, assertiveness is a skill that can be learned. But first I want to back up just a little bit, and I want to talk about 3 different types of behavior. So we have passive behavior, we have aggressive behavior, and we have assertive behavior. But instead of just reading out a dictionary definition, I think it would be better if I could actually demonstrate the different behaviors to you. So what type of behavior might this be?
Passive.
Exactly, that's more passive behavior. But what about this?
Aggressive.
Aggressive behavior. So it's kind of the extreme, right? Either end of the continuum. What might assertive behavior look like? Walking down the street with your head held high, looking around you, being aware of your surroundings, actually being okay with the fact that you take up space on this planet and you deserve to take up space on this planet. It also involves a little bit of eye contact, but you don't need to be aggressive and be staring people down, and you don't need to be completely avoiding eye contact either. So there are actually 3 types of assertive behavior. I just showed you a little bit of a physical assertiveness, and we also have mental assertiveness, but I don't have time to really get into a lot of that today. What I want to focus on today is a particular skill or tool that you can use that falls into the category of verbal assertiveness. So verbal assertiveness can look like many different things. So it may be that somebody's yelling and they're really escalated and you're trying to bring them down using your verbal skills. Or it may be that you're negotiating with somebody over something. Or maybe that you're yelling and you're giving a directive, or you're saying, "No, back off." So verbal assertiveness can take many forms. But today what I want to talk about is a tool that you can put in your tool belt that's called the 3-step model. So I handed out a little thing here if you want to follow along. But as the name implies, there are 3 steps to the 3-step model. So the first step in the 3-step model is to name the behavior. So name the behavior that the person is doing that you don't like, that's inappropriate. The second step in the 3-step model is to criticize the behavior. So you don't want to criticize the person, calling them a big fat jerk or something. You want to criticize the behavior only. And then the third step and final step in the 3-step model is you want to tell them what to do. You want to give a directive. So when people are learning the 3-step model, there can be kind of some problems in having what you're saying actually match what you mean. So you want to have your body language match the words that you're saying. You want to have your facial expression and your stance and so forth match what you're saying. The problem that we tend to have in our society is we're so nice, coming back to the niceness again. So we tend to be brought up to believe that everybody is a good person unless they show us otherwise, and we like to think that we don't want to hurt others' feelings, so we're trying to be nice to everybody all the time. But it's actually not the safest way to be, is to have people being nice all the time and just giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. It's actually safer to have someone prove to you that they deserve, your respect and you to be nice to them. So it can be hard sometimes to actually match what you mean when you're trying to be assertive. So it can be good if you practice this 3-step model with friends or family members, and you can actually use this 3-step model in many situations. So I encourage you to try and start using it first with friends and family and coworkers. It's a little less scary, and then you can move up to using it with somebody who's a stranger, a potential attacker, somebody being inappropriate. So first I want to give you some examples of using it in different situations, and you'll see the difference of how this can be used with somebody that you know versus a stranger versus somebody who is actually maybe a potential attacker. With a friend. You've said that you were going to do the dishes numerous times this week, but unfortunately you haven't done anything yet, and they're really starting to pile up, so I'd really appreciate it if you could please do what you said you were going to do as soon as possible. Stranger on public transportation. Whoa, 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 whoa! You're sitting a little too close. I think you need to get up and move to another seat. Somebody who's a stranger and is being completely inappropriate. I have 2 that I'm going to show you. I've told you several times, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. When I say no, I mean no. I want you to stop asking. Second. Stop touching me. It's completely inappropriate. I do not like it. I want you to back off right now. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about the 3 types of behavior today, and you've learned a new tool that you can put in your tool belt to use to try and practice your assertive behavior. And just remember that the 3-step model, naming the behavior, criticizing the behavior, and then actually telling the person what to do might be the difference for you or your child in becoming the next victim or being not worth the trouble for a potential attacker. Thank you.